Hello and welcome to Nathan's Garage, and welcome to another range fitting. This time is for the 2020 or newer electric Explorer plane. Rear brake calipers being fitted to a Crown Vic axle. On this particular one, it's an 09 axle, so it's the longer one. The 98 to 02s, these same brackets fit, but they go in a different orientation or something like that. I did an unboxing of all this stuff, but that's a bracket for one side, and you get all the hardware, and you get all the electricery as well. Now, I had these dropped off this morning by a delightful gentleman called Alexandru. Hope I said his name right. And I've messaged him for his contact details that aren't Messenger, Facebook Marketplace. I have his number, but I don't know if he wants his number listing, because I got all this for an amazing price. So it's the Police Explorer that these are off. So you've got the vented bigger discs, which means they've got to run an 18-inch wheel. And I got the hoses. And one thing I also got of him, which is amazing, is the electric pigtails. Now, if you don't get those said electric pigtails, they are included in the range kit. But if I can, I'll just extend what I have been supplied, as electricery does scare me. But as I showed you in the electric steering rack install, even I can figure out the Mustang stuff, which is basically more complicated than this. And if I can do it, you can do it. Well, anybody can do it. Okay, right, so now we need to pull the axles. And there are amazing, clear, well-produced videos on how to pull axles out of a Crown Vic axle, if that makes any sense. So, as you should do now, go find that. I'll put a link to one as well. And then we shall come back with the stripped axle and fit the range kit. This I did not know, probably because I didn't read as much as I possibly should have. So I set up an electrical circuit like Range had in their diagram, complete with switch, breaker, everything. Now, if you hit the rocker switch one way, it does one thing, the other way does another thing, and the sound is like it's releasing and going tighter. But if you hit it the same way twice, it seems to either double tighten or double release, because to get the disc out of the caliper, I had to hit the release twice and then it let go of the caliper. But when I rocked it one way, it made a noise. When I rocked it the other way, it made a noise. But when I rocked it twice in one direction, it let go of the disc. Now, if I'm being really dumb, and that's why it's not making sense to me, or whether you guys think, obviously, that's how it is. But that's how it is. Okay, we've made progress. It has not been without hiccups, really big hiccups. So we have a diff open, we have that pin down, so we obviously have the locking bolt out. We have a circlip right there, we have an axle right there, and then this damn locking pin decided to round itself. I just didn't have the 8 quite on it, and it rounded itself, so I ended up having to weld socket on it and then beat the hell out of it to get it out. So one is, stay on the ground, one is on order at O'Reilly's, hopefully, supposedly in an hour. We shall see. So we've got to this point now. ABS sensors out, calipers out, all super easy stuff. Zap off these 4 with got those fancy wing nuts on the back. And I don't know what's going to happen next. May as well video it. I don't know what comes off next. Again, the range directions are all good, you know, with their directions and YouTube. This is really a relatively easy job. Okay, I guess okay. So I had cut the handbrake cable, the e-brake cable a long time ago, because I knew I was doing this. So that's just come off with it, which seems to go into this fancy doohickey thing here, which I am not going to deal with. Oh my word, okay. Again, that's off. This is what we have been wanting. It's a bit dirty, isn't it? Okay, bit of a cleanup, I think. I mean, talk about being simple. It seems not simple enough. These brackets in this kit is very modular, and I found every way to fit it incorrectly to my model of Crown Vic, just so you guys don't have to go through the inconvenience. Oh, I wish that was the truth. Just a little break in proceedings. I think there's a saying, do as I say, don't do as I do. Don't do either, in my case. Don't do as I say or do as I do. Because it seems, could not interpret anything to do with the instructions due to my lack of presence, shall we say. Let me illuminate. Basically, don't do that. If you look at the pictures closely on Range's website, the caliper should be on the front. Yep. Okay, so diff cover off, axles out again. I'm getting very, very good at removing axles from a Ford rear end. We're gonna just basically spin it forward. And the bracket goes on that way, not the other way, as I now know. I'm very expert at taking off, taking out axles by now. Really, really know my way around. Okay, so bolts FT, flipping tight. That is that. Now, axle back in. Again. Come on, go back in. There we go. So the Caliper bracket is on. Let us. Okay, how are we doing? That's clean. Let's get that in. So the bolt is the same orientation as was before, which is always nice. Kind of tells you that you're doing the right thing. I had none of these signs before. Right, so your axle's back in, and you know how to do that because you watched a fancy video about it. And disc on. Easy. Right, so when you're putting your caliper on, it's going to be going like that. Obviously spun around in this case. Bleeder high, brake line low. I completely brain blipped when doing it wrong, thinking, just had in my mind that was a bleeder. I'm getting old. So yeah, bleeder high, brake line low. Okay, let's take the Crown Vic brake pipe off. I can hear the East Coast people swearing at me right now. Because my speciality is drilling holes at an angle and they're supposed to be straight, I kicked into gear with the pillar drill that's been sat here for 2 or 3 years for so long that the rubber cover has perished and it's not been used. 3rd time. So I went to Harbour Freight and got this little mini vise so it can hold that flat. And we can drill it with a 13, 30 seconds or 10 mil. I have no idea whether I've got that or not. I guess now we know. 13, 30 seconds is 10.3 mil. Come on, baby. Okay, any of you out there that have used a drill press, don't bother about screaming at me because I can't hear you, unfortunately. So the cross hatching of the laser seems to be good. When I go down, seems to be centered, and the speed of the drill is on 1260, a little slow but good. Level in this clamp, and the clamp is clamped down. What could go wrong? That's it. Yeah. It's not totally straight. Yeah, that's not straight. I don't think it's straight anyway. I do not think that is straight. I wonder how much of a problem that's going to be. God damn it. Now obviously there are lots of slight differences to everybody's install. So I have the drilled out Crown Vic brake hose, which originally mounted on a bracket there. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put it there like that, and then I'm going to bend that back a bit. And this is, as I say, like unique to a Crown Vic really, because if you're sticking this brake kit on a truck with a Crown Vic axle in it, your orientation is going to be completely different. So that probably means you can put the caliper anywhere as well. The world is your oyster. Rev nut. One of the best things that Singer introduced me to was the rev nut. Love it. What the brakes look like when they're in the right place for my application, as opposed to the wrong side, which I did the first time. And yeah, that's what the brake hoses look like. And this is all unique to everybody's build. This is just how I did it. See that? It's super easy kit, so easy to fit, really great, and looks awesome. I love these calipers.